Okay, let's talk about something we've all struggled with. You know that feeling, right? You spend so much time memorizing a few verses, you feel on top of the world, and then a few days later, poof, they're just gone. It's frustrating, but you are not alone. Today, we're going to dive into a total game changer, a technique inspired by Najla Muhammad that uses a simple visual tool to help you finally conquer even the longest chapters of the Quran. Let's get into it.
I mean, you've been there, haven't you? You put in the hours, maybe even days, committing these beautiful, powerful verses to memory. And then, a week later, it all just feels fuzzy. It slips right through your fingers. It's so discouraging. But listen, what if I told you the problem isn't actually your memory? What if it's the method you're using? All right, so here's our game plan to totally flip the script on how you memorize. First, we're going to look at the common challenges, the things that trip us all up. Then, I'll introduce you to a visual solution that honestly is going to blow your mind. After that, we'll walk through a real example so you can see exactly how this works. And we'll wrap up by talking about how this takes you from just memorizing to truly understanding. So let's just be real for a second. Memorizing the Quran is a huge undertaking. And when we stumble, it's not because we're not trying hard enough or we're not devoted. It's just a lot of information. The sheer volume can feel like you're drowning. But what if there was a way to make it all feel organized and manageable? Think about it like this. Imagine you're at the base of this massive, beautiful mountain. You want to get to the top, but you have no map, no compass, no guide. You could just start climbing, right? Grabbing whatever rock looks good. But you'd get tired fast, probably get confused, and almost definitely get lost. You'd have no idea how all the paths connect. Well, that is exactly what just reading and repeating can feel like. And that feeling of being lost leads to all these classic problems. I'm sure you recognize some of these. You start mixing up verses that sound kinda similar. You can't remember the exact order of the ayat. You totally lose the plot. Like, how did we get from this topic to that one? But don't worry, because there is a much, much better way. A way that helps you not only lock in the words, but also connect with the message on a whole other level. So what if, for that mountain, you had a detailed map? A satellite view that showed you every trail, every peak, every connection. A tool that actually works with the way your brain is already wired, instead of fighting against it. Well, that is precisely what we're talking about here. So, meet the mind map. In Arabic, it's called El-Kharita al-Thaniya. This is about to be your new best friend for memorization. It's basically a simple diagram that lets you lay out information visually, which, believe it or not, is how your brain prefers to work. So instead of a boring long list of words, you get this beautiful, clear roadmap for your memory. And here's the science behind it, which is actually super cool. Our brains are visual machines. We are just so much better at remembering images, patterns, and connections than we are at remembering lines of text. So when you take a chunk of verses and you turn it into a colorful mind map, you're literally tapping into your brain's natural superpower. So you're probably wondering, how much better are we talking? Well, get this. Some studies have shown that using visuals in learning can boost your recall and your attention by up to 400%. I'm going to say that again, 400%. Let that sink in for a second. That's not a tiny little improvement. That's a complete revolution for your memory. Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this thing actually works. We're going to take a real passage from Surah Al-Baqarah, the one about wishes without proof, and we're going to map it out together step by step. You're about to see how a really complex theme can become crystal clear in just a couple of minutes. So our journey starts right here with verse 111. It's a really bold claim being made. This core idea, wishes without proof, becomes the center of our mind map. Think of it like the trunk of a giant tree. And now we're going to start drawing the branches to see all the connected ideas. So, you want to build one yourself? It is way easier than it looks, I promise. Just 4 simple steps. 1, find that central idea. 2, pull out the most important keywords and concepts. A little pro tip here, look for unique, powerful words that can act as a hook for your memory. 3, draw branches coming out from the center for each of those key ideas. And 4, connect everything. Add your verse numbers, maybe some colors or little doodles. That's it. And boom, look at that. In just a few moments, we've taken this complex theological argument and turned into a simple visual roadmap. You've got the main idea right there in the middle. Then, branching off, you see their claim, their amani, their wishes. Then you see the divine response, bring your burhan, your proof. And finally, the true condition, which is ihsan, doing good. See? Suddenly, it's not just a block of text anymore. It's a conversation. It's like having a cheat sheet for your brain. And this, right here, brings us to the absolute best part of this whole thing. Because this method isn't just about cramming words into your head. It's about connecting with the meaning on such a deep level that the message becomes a part of you, long after you've closed the mushaf. You know, you can think of it like this. Traditional rote learning is like walking down a long, straight hallway, just staring at your feet. You might get to the end, but you have no idea what the building looks like. Mind mapping, that's like having a bird's eye view of the entire beautiful landscape. You see how everything is connected. You're not just passively repeating, you are actively engaging and exploring. And that is why it sticks. I mean, the results really speak for themselves. When you use a visual method like this, your retention goes way up. But even more importantly, your comprehension goes way up. And yeah, it might take a few extra minutes up front to actually draw the map, but the long-term payoff for your memory and for your soul it's absolutely priceless. So if you take one thing away today, let it be this. This is not just another study hack. It's a completely different mindset. It's about changing memorization from something that feels like a chore, something you have to do, into an exciting journey of discovery. You're not just learning words anymore. You're building a real, living, breathing relationship with the Quran. You now have this incredibly powerful tool in your toolbox. You have a map to guide you on this beautiful journey of memorization and deep understanding. So the only question left is, what are you waiting for? Pick a surah, any surah that speaks to you, grab a piece of paper and a pen, and just start mapping. Your adventure is just beginning.